Hello and welcome back to more Ace Attorney Investigations. Miles Edgeworth. In the last episode, we continued our investigations in the Turnabout Reminiscence case, and today we will be doing that exact same thing. We are here today in defendant lobby number 1. Let's do it. Whoa, what is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? It smells like flowers. How did you get here before us?
Uncle Bad, is this it?
Isn't that Detective Bad and Kay over there?
It looks like she managed to escape the bailiff.
I don't know how she got here before us, though.
No, that's not quite it.
So bad, but it's so pretty.
I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it.
Thanks, I'll treasure it always.
Those two seem to get along rather well.
Oh, here, I've got something else for you.
Yay! Thank you, Uncle Bad. Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy.
Gummy? Oh, you mean gumshoe.
Gummy is... He was trying to be nice to me because I was going to get in trouble, and then he got in trouble because he lied to protect me. Gummy... I know he didn't kill Daddy.
Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying.
I'm not crying.
Kay,
Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too.
don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being?
You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant, so I'm related to the investigation.
Is that so, Detective Bad?
Yeah, I guess
He is not happy with that information.
What? You were just scolding us like kids not to mess up the crime scene, and now you let this child run free? What?
Well, it's her father, so... I don't know.
people are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. Yeah, you also had a few things she wants to look into. Got a problem with that?
I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Miss Yu is looking into.
Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's right. Hey, mister.
Yes, what is it?
I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So please, find the real bad guy, okay?
I've gotten pretty good at that at this point. I won't forgive whoever did this, but in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there is no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. She wandered off while I was pondering. Okay, do you have anything interesting to tell us? That's not, I said, I wanted to talk to you. Can I believe it's supposed to be postmodern in design.
More like thoughtlessness in design.
Can I move? I can't disagree there. No, okay, there we go, now we can talk. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for?
Nothing that concerns you, boy.
Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay?
It does because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry and get to the point. I don't have time to waste.
As spoken as if we do, it sounds like he'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again.
I don't have anything to say to you.
Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is that overpowering smell that is permeating the room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate.
It's an ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it.
She spilled perfume.
I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and open the window, but that smell's still here.
Perfume, huh? So the sweet scent in the air is perfume.
Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap, no-name brand.
She said it's a famous brand from overseas.
It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff.
No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it.
I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Miles Edgeworth, you will belong to this bottle without fail.
Oh, why can't she ever be honest about her wants? Miss Yu's perfume data jotted down on my organizer. So now we have the perfume Miss Yu wears. Just fantastic. What?
Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigate.
Actually, I still have a few... Okay, so we have a perfume. What relevance could this possibly have? Perfume given to Bad by you. Same perfume as the one spilled in lobby number 1. I have absolutely no idea how that could possibly have any relevance whatsoever. Okay, during the recess. So you were in this room the entire recess?
Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lug down here. But other than that...
At least your story is consistent.
Earlier, you stated that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu.
Yeah, I ran into him in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here.
Then what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in 2 different locations.
Guess I am.
Interesting.
Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you.
Let's see, Miss Yu was the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident, and as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on that case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case.
You knew?
I also know that today's trial involving the Codopian embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me, and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday, and the KG8 incident.
If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you.
Okay then, KG8 incident, lay it on me, pal. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident.
Sounds like a happy story, other than the people who were directly involved. You two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell.
Ooh.
The honest truth behind the KG8 incident. Faraday, you and I, as you already know, we 3 were involved with the KG8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring.
Ah, convenient. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group secretaries, and also the past 3 cases?
That trial was just a front.
A facade?
Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed.
Then what became of the secretary who was arrested?
His name was Colin Deveray. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring, but he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Deveray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man, just another scapegoat.
The boss man of the Amano Group? You can't seriously mean Mr. Ernesto Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bad's personal hypothesis. But what is he trying to do, suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with smuggling? Oh, just you wait, buddy.
I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Mandy Koshin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder, Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go?
If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him.
That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, Cece, I was supposed to protect them both.
Miss Yu did mention that as well, about how Detective Bad was supposed to guard her sister. But
even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap.
What kind of a trap?
The holes in this jacket are a testament to that trap.
You mean you were fired upon?
You were shot at that many times in one gunfight and still survived?
No, only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned in the KG8 incident.
I see.
I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned, and that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu.
About when you first met Miss Yu, it was on the day the verdict of the KG8 incident was handed down, was it not?
Yes, Faraday and I, we apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face.
Well, if it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
I suppose not. You said it herself. That she never wanted to see either of us ever again.
But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct?
Yeah. We continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring.
Is the ring really that big?
It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney.
Her client was related to the smuggling ring and she was defending them?
Yeah. You was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rail this time, for the same reason.
Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect.
I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, alright?
And for that you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer.
Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing.
The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his liar. I had no intention of covering for him ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to.
It doesn't matter what her reason is. It doesn't. Helping a criminal is just despicable. You're so naive, little girl. I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are. How dare you insult the daughter of Von Karma? Just like us, you thought that she had hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all.
The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it, only the skill of the craftsman.
You two are still too young, but one day, you'll know what I mean. But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all.
Wow, that was quite a backstory. Now, how about your relation to Faraday?
So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well.
I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor, known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together.
But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case.
Did we touch a nerve? No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial, to prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu, which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either.
I sense that there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary.
Okay.
You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me?
What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel.
Yeah, but more often than not, that leads us down a path of very complicated backstories, so it's kind of a package deal at this point. In solving a murder, we learn about the tragic history of the people involved.
I agree.
What?
The KG8 incident and this second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring, and in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ, and that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Mr. Rell claimed to be in the Yatagarasu, however, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be at least a bit odd?
Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already.
I believe there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time.
A reason?
And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rell's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu.
If it'll help you solve the case, then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yatagarasu.
Here we go. This is gonna get good.
What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident.
By accident.
No, it's still accidentally with me anyway.
There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be.
One jump ahead of the bread line, one swing ahead of the sword.
First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever.
Press X to doubt on that one. I'm sure we'll find something.
I see.
Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief. The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I know. But you can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't. Listen, little girl, I'm not done talking yet. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police, and the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Konopian embassy, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence.
Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings to the mass media, but not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I,
and a select few others knew about.
In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagarasu who sent it?
That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure.
And just what sort of card is it?
Here, take a look at this article. A white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Will about what was sent along with the white card, Will had no idea what it was.
Ah, and that's how Detective Bad knew that Mr. Rib is a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now.
Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes?
His Honor would like to transfer the evidence of today's trial over to you. So if you could please head over to the courtroom, it would be much appreciated, sir.
Understood. I'll be there at something, I don't know. Detective Bad, what does the law mean to you?
Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive.
Oh? I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself, and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. Number 10, Discord card number 3. Okay, so that was definitely a lot of exposition. So, and generally speaking, the parts were just like one character's talking on and on and on for a while. Not the strongest parts of the game, but that was, we did learn a lot of useful information there, so I'm gonna let it slide just this once. Anyway. Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. It appears that his honor is still a bit disbrighted. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a great appreciation for just how hard it is to give a testimony.
Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. Judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict.
Francisca, there is no need to further depress his honor.
But I'm not trying to, Miles.
Your honor. Your honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Hey. Your honor, the evidence? Hey. Your honor! Oh, you! I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir.
Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm sorry. And I would accept that the defense attorney is yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation, so let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rowe are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men, this could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding the case. And maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth. Place all the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you. I see, thank you very much. I'm going to confirm that they are all accounted for. I mean, that's cool and all, but what's this over here? If I can move properly, thank you very much. Move. What's this? Evidence that Miss Yu prepared is just sitting here on this table.
You know you can't just walk off with it, right?
Of course I do. Miss Yu must have been called off guard by a client's sudden accusation. I wonder how she would have defended Mr. Will in that case if he was still alive. Okay, so then I guess now we have to actually look at the evidences for us. So this is the evidence related to today's Colombian embassy trial for Mr. Faraday's bag.
You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right?
Yes, finally we can now take a look at the evidence itself and not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time.
Agreed. I want to take a good look at all the evidence from the embassy murder too.
And why is that?
Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about.
Oh. Don't point your crop at me because you don't know something.
And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today.
I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma.
It's also real to see the knife up close.
So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope, and what's this organizer doing here?
Oh, that's right, I completely forgot to tell you.
About what, Your Honor?
They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bad requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help with the investigation.
Detective Bad said that.
What a strange stroke of luck.
Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. Might as well flip through it too. I won't listen until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. Okay. Well, obviously, actually, no. I was gonna say obviously we're gonna look at that first, because, you know, it would probably be the most interesting one there. However, I'm thinking we save this for last, because for that exact reason, it'll probably be the most interesting. Anyway, so, okay, so we'll look at the knife first. It's a knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act?
You're gonna call a knife a piece of art? Really? Okay. Oh, it's never crossed your mind that you use your riding crop for the wrong purpose? And the gun? This gun. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Red still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest.
And then, this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic.
Indeed, there doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence. And then the envelope. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started.
Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it.
I'm supposed to explain it to you then.
Yes, you should. Perfectly in its entirety, if you please.
On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mike Ribble was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simpleton of a man, that's what he was.
Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Red was caught in the act on film by a security camera.
He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice the security camera.
Yeah, that seems pretty odd.
The Konopi embassy security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area.
So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Yes, the surveillance video in the security camera took was played during the trial of Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Red or not. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear.
So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life.
Me neither.
Okay, now, best for last.
Mr. Faraday's organizer, it appears he was in the habit of using it.
Looks like he wrote a strategy for getting Mr. Rel convicted down in here.
I've collected the evidence I need to prove that Rel was the killer. Between the handgun Rel had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. It appears Mr. Faraday honestly believed Mr. Rel was the killer in the case. The sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rel is not the real Yatagarasu. It would also appear that he had proof Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. No matter how he may try to play it, as long as I have the Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's the Yatagarasu's key. Oh, the thing that was in Kei's hair in the last case. Okay. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. And he apparently also has a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle. I hope this will finally bring it. Well, it certainly brought it to an end, but not the way you wanted it to.
To discredit any claim Mr. Rel may have made about being the real Yatagarasu.
And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rel was the guilty party in the embassy murder.
This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later.
Okay, but I think I did just give it a thorough read.
Look, there's a picture stuck between the pages here.
It appears to be a key.
And a rather ornate one at that. Let's look at the design on the handle.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu's key?
No, you think? It's got it's like a snake pattern with the bottom part's a wooden snake pattern with what is it, like wings? No, it's butterfly. That's what it is, and then an actual key on the end of it.
The Yatagarasu's key?
It's like the bats something earlier.
What's different about this time is that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police, and the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Konobe embassy, the Yatagarasu.
The Yatagarasu sent the evidence.
Until now, the Yatagarasu was always supposed to say,
Yeah, we already read this.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep the secret key safe.
As the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected.
Yatagarasu's key data jotted down in my organizer. Okay.
That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about a knife in his organizer.
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill the Konobe embassy and staff member was the gun. Well, if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr.
Yeah, that is odd. Actually, I didn't even think about that. Where would... Wait a second.
Isn't it obvious it's brought into the courthouse, Mr. Rel?
It's the only conclusion, right? No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that here. Every person who enters the courthouse stores is checked through it for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it possible for him to bring a knife as large as this in house.
In that case, how do you suppose a knife?
I think I might have just gotten an idea.
I need to think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. There's one line on the...
Yup. I think, yup. Go, I got it. Go, let me do the thing. I got it. I was through this piece of evidence that knife was brought to... Okay, hold it. So the knife has has the two halves of the butterfly on each side. It has one half on the left side, the other half on the other side. And it's got that little gold bit at the end and the silver bit. Where's the... And then do we have the key? The key. Yup. Okay. So it folds. Maybe? Oh, actually, yeah. Oh, you know what? I bet that's how it works. So, like... try to imagine this in your head. So, if you're holding the key by the brown part, like you have one hand on the left side and one hand on the right side, you pull each half to the side and then bring it down to the bottom to completely cover the golden part. And then that illuminates the entire silver part as the blade of the knife, and then a little gold bit at the end. Does that match up with the knife itself? I think it does. I think that's exactly what it is. That's the knife. This, where is it? Here. The Yatagarasu's key. Here it is. The Yatagarasu's key, Mr. Featherty mentioned his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse.
You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth.
You just needed to look a bit closer. Don't the color and the ornamentation of the keys or handle remind you of anything?
They do remind me of the knife.
Very good. Both the Yatagarasu's key and his photo and the murderous knife have this very unique design on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Featherty mentioned the Yatagarasu's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife.
You don't seriously mean to say.
It appears that you've finally caught up, and yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are, in fact, the one and the same.
But that's impossible.
Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate this possibility. Now then, let's examine this knife in a little more detail.
Okay, so what are we looking for here? I mean, I'm assuming that if my theory is correct, there's gotta be something. Maybe that's a button that, can we push this to like make it fold back? Aha! Exactly! Exactly how I said it was gonna be too!
I can't believe it turned into a key. Think there was such a trick to this thing.
So the weapon we used to kill the Mr. Featherty is actually the key that Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now.
Okay, so the Yatagarasu sent this key to the police, right? Why would they have what reason would they have had to do that? Why would because they said the Yatagarasu sent this piece. So why would the Yatagarasu have sent this? That doesn't make any sense. That is correct, right? Detective Bad said that the Yatagarasu sent this thing to the police, and then it showed up. Why would the Yatagarasu send its own knife? That doesn't make any sense at all. The only reason why, the only idea I have for that is if the Yatagarasu was the murderer and like sent the key to the police. Actually, wait a minute. Okay, this is a crazy conspiracy theory, but remember when I said at the end of the last episode that it's probably her because she's the most suspicious? What would you say the odds are that that Callisto Yu, the defense attorney, is the Yatagarasu? I know that doesn't make that has like zero evidence to connect it, but here's why I have that theory. So we know that this key can be turned into a knife, right? So, and the Yatagarasu sent this key. So whoever that is sent this key to the police. The only reason that, because this doesn't expose anything. The Yatagarasu is a thief who steals things from companies to expose their corruption or whatever. This doesn't expose that. This is the Yatagarasu's key. The only reason I can think of as to why the Yatagarasu would send this to the police is if he knows it can be turned into, or sorry, she knows it can be turned into a knife, so sends it to the police so that she can easily extract, like, say, hey, this is evidence in the, or like as the Yatagarasu sends it, and they're like, what do we do with this? So then she can easily retrieve it from the courthouse, and then use that as the murder weapon. Maybe. Like that barely explains anything. That's just a crazy conspiracy theory. I'm aware of that. I acknowledge that. But still, I can't think of any other reason as to why the Yatagarasu himself or herself would have sent this to the police. Like okay. But then, okay, so wait, but what implication does that have for everything else? Because that means that she defended Rel, who killed. Okay, so maybe. Do we know anything? Hold on. Do we know anything about who was killed? You know, where's the victim? Kagurabi embassy staff member was gunned down in front of embassy by Rel. Do we know anything about him? Because like, if he was involved in some, like, if he was on to like, hey, Callisto Yu, I know you're the Yatagarasu. I'm gonna tell everybody. And then she's like, well, we can't have that. So she tells Rel to kill him. Actually, wait, that makes perfect sense. She tells Mr. Rel to kill this guy, Deed Man. And so, and she knows he's going to be caught. She's fully aware that he is going to be caught on camera, and he agrees to that. So then, when he's accused of murder, she takes up his case as a defense attorney, so that she can intentionally give him a shabby defense. And then he says, yes, I'm the oh wait. Yeah, wait, that's the connection we're missing. That's the connection we're missing. Yeah, because like, so if because the trial was, what was it, like, he was the Yatagarasu, right? So if they thought he was the Yatagarasu, then that would cause Mr. Faraday to bring this key to court as evidence, and then Rel would say, yes, I did kill that person, but I was told to by the real Yatagarasu, Mr. Faraday, and then the whole court goes awry, and then she uses that, like, maybe the original game plan was to just, like, that would be the end of it right there, like, that gets Mr. Faraday arrested, but what's the motive against Mr. Faraday? We need a motive against Mr. Faraday, but let's do this motive against Mr. Faraday. That gets him arrested, he's out of the way, like, maybe he was getting close to figuring out that she was the Yatagarasu, that puts him away, and then when that doesn't happen, and then he's like, hey, Rel, get in here, she freaks out, she's like, oh no, he's gonna freak out, he's gonna blow our case, then she goes in there and murders both of them? But that's the part I'm stuck on. How did she do that? How did she murder both of them? Gumshoe was in that hallway, and the only person he saw was Faraday. So how in the world did she murder both? I'm stuck on that. That's the part that I'm stuck on. But everything else makes sense, right? I think everything else makes sense. I'm pretty sure. Okay. Maybe. I'm not sure.
Frankly, I'm shocked.
Mr. Faraday only mentioned this key aspect of the piece of, the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside.
But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to the knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday.
Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday. Meaning the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place, the great Yatagarasu.
And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that the only possible scenario?
No, not really, especially since Mr. Faraday was obviously convinced that Mr. Red was not the Yatagarasu. Besides, the detective Bad said earlier.
But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
I see. Alright then, I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else, and that person is the real Yatagarasu.
Knife did update my organizer. So I am convinced that we have the motive behind this. I don't know how, like, I don't know the how of it. The how of it is where I'm stuck. That's all, I was short one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court.
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go?
The video showed the moment in which Mr. Rio committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed?
Are you done with your inspection of the evidence?
Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence.
Your Honor, were you derelict in your duties?
What? No, I do not neglect my duties. What do you take me for?
No, Your Honor. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial, the surveillance video, is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me.
But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene?
There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, defendant lobby number 2.
September 10th, 6 o'clock p.m. District Court defendant lobby number 2.
That's Detective Bad, but who was he with?
I've never seen that officer before.
So did you find it?
No, not yet. I've looked everywhere.
I see. Well then, please continue with the search.
Good, I'll continue the search. Heh, so you're the one running the show?
Prosecutors like you shouldn't be allowed at crime scenes.
How dare you? Just who do you think you are? What was that all about? And who was that man just now?
Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life.
Does he even know that we're standing right here behind him?
I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kid?
Yeah, I mean, he is holding a mirror in his hands.
It looks like you were paying attention.
He's holding a mirror in his hands. What do you expect?
Of course I was. I have eyes. You have a mirror in your hands.
Ah, so that mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. Tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now?
The guy came here from the Republic of Zangfei to study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of entertainment from scratch.
By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication.
He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he is rude.
Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time.
I'd agree. However, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was the agent looking for, Detective Bad?
Earlier, that little girl was poking around lobby number 1 as well. Like
I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
I highly doubt that has nothing to do with me. Fine. To draw what he's been hiding and what happened in this room straight from him. Okay, we gotta talk to him. Earlier, you were in lobby number 1, now you're here in lobby number 2. You are quite the busy man, Detective Bad. Yeah, he moved all of about 6 feet. I know, what a crazy amount of steps he just took.
Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say.
I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct?
I don't have anything left to say to you, boy.
Boy, you'll see. I will draw my answer from you one way or another.
would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation?
I gave Faraday's number to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think?
Ah,
Please, we are asking you for just a bit more of your cooperation.
Don't push me, kid.
I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime.
I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do would be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about?
things you don't know about, but aren't you supposed to know everything?
He should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. It might prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad. Okay, well then in that case, allow me to show him the key that we found. Oh wait, no, I have to talk to him to do that. I forgot. Present the key. Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph?
Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case.
In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and the Yatagarasu key are one and the same?
What? That's impossible.
It looks like he didn't know after all.
This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yatagarasu's key to prove that Mr. Real was not the real Yatagarasu. Is that correct?
I guess so.
However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was in fact a knife.
Yeah, I have to admit. And neither one of us knew. Then no one in law enforcement knew either. How do we miss something as big as this?
I noticed that since a little while ago, you appeared to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for.
Yeah, that's right.
And why were you searching for it?
Because I promised Faraday. I promised I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life?
Detective Bad, so that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more.
Alright. It doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing's gonna change.
Okay, time of the murder. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1.
My answer is still the same, and this is the last time I'm going to do this.
That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up and find the truth behind this case. Okay, here we go. Detective Bad's movements.
I was in lobby number 1 talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene.
Okay, that's consistent. But didn't the judge wait, wait a minute, because okay, so is he gonna mention the
We heard it, you and I immediately dashed into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2.
he didn't mention the balloon popping sound. That's odd.
It sounds like the exact same story you told us before.
Indeed, however, I feel that we have yet to draw all the information that we can. Okay. I'm gonna try to press that third statement to see if we can get anything, like, to see if we can get him to tell us, like, hey, I heard the balloon shot too. Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? Did you not hear a balloon pop? If the gunshot, that would give the other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now.
I didn't hear any gunshot. That's not... Okay, then what about this? That's not it. No, wrong. Where is it? There it is. Detective Bard, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything?
It's the same color as that one Kate was holding.
Oh, so you knew about that girl's balloon?
Yeah, it was sitting with her up in the gallery during the recess just before we split up. I filled that balloon up for her.
Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon.
So, what about the balloon?
I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point.
What are you getting at?
This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot.
Oh, so the sound of the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh?
On top of that, His Honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was about to reconvene.
Yes, which means that His Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bard, and if you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough to that you should have heard the balloon popping as well.
So?
Whoa, don't give me a so.
We just proved there was a flaw in your testimony.
The cracking of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivety cracking. And since your kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so rugged? It's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
What is that supposed to mean?
The doors and the walls are super thick, the window panes are double layered. Top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound absorbent.
Are you trying to tell me that this place is soundproof? Then you mean...
So we should have been...
Okay, buddy. Are you really... How do you say that within the same minute that you just told me that you heard the gunshot in the first place? How do you... The balloon popping would be just as loud as the gunshot, so how exactly... How do you hear one, but not the other, when you're nothing changed, you're still in the damn room. So nothing would... What the only thing that... No, actually, scratch that. Nothing would have changed. You're still in the damn room, with apparently the soundproof walls. So what? Okay, now I'm starting to think this guy. No, because he was in there with the defense attorney, Miss Yu. So there's no way that he could. Wait! Oh, wait a minute! Wait! The windows were open. The window was open. Wait. No. We can't access logic. Okay, I know. We have something. We have something about the window being open in the other room, right? And at the beginning of this episode, when we found that the perfume bottle was dropped. Right? Where is it? Here it is. When this was dropped, that Detective Bat opened up the window to try to let it out, right? So, the window in this room was open, and so was the window in the other room. So, whatever sound comes out of either of those rooms could be heard from the other room, right? Okay. So... There's a TV in this room. And mysteriously, we can't find the surveillance footage that shows the murder of Deed Man, which would also feature a gunshot. Right? Does that make sense? I think that might be the piece we're missing. I think that's the piece we're missing. That's the how. That's the... Okay, that explains it. So then she wouldn't have been in the murder. So then they were both already dead then. They were both already dead. Long before they ran in there. So long before Gumshoe stood watch, she was in there. And she killed, okay. So then maybe what happens is Faraday brings Rel into he brings Mackerel into the room. The defense attorney sees it's like, oh, can't have that. Runs in there and stabs Mr. Faraday. And then they set up the fake crime scene. And then she's like, you know, you're a witness to this. Bang, can't have that. Then they're both dead. She leaves the room. She opens the window. She leaves the room. She goes back. He said he was dragged in here by Miss Yu to talk about something. So they do that. They talk about it. Whatever. The tape is playing on the TV. Right before, But at some point before the shot goes off, she drops a perfume bottle, it spills all over the place. This guy's like, oh my god, this smells awful. So he opens the window to try and let the air out. Both windows are open. The shot goes off in this room. They hear it in here. Gumshoe hears it from the hallway because that window's open. That explains why. So then she's running them before and they're already in there. They hear the gunshot. They go over and check it out. Boom! I think that's it. I think that's the explanation.
No.
Oh.
I knew what he was going to say. That's what he was going to say. Then that means that Scarface's testimony is completely useless. If the rooms are soundproof, then of course you wouldn't hear any sign of a struggle. No.
That's also why it's only natural that I hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it, kids?
Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around.
The other way around? It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1. However, if we examine the situation in reverse, a person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either, and yet Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that was the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot?
What do you mean, how? I just did.
It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words.
Oh, how so?
If the rooms are as soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot into your ears?
I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it, but there it is more than I had thought.
Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to?
It boils down to this: there must be a reason as to how Detective Bad and Gumshoe heard a gunshot that they couldn't have.
It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again.
The state of the crime scene.
Wait, can it be?
Yep, the perfume, she spilled it. That's a logic piece. Ugh! And way too noisy. Very loud television to an incredibly high volume. Yup, I think that's it. I think that's exactly what happened.
The surveillance video? How could...
Yup, that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what freaking happened. Okay, so what can we connect? The window was open because they were trying to get rid of the smell from the perfume. Okay, here we go. We're approaching the truth. We're slowly approaching the truth.
It's simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows, and yet the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open barred windows.
Okay, and then, so the sound of that television goes through the windows that are open. I love this logic system. It's so satisfying.
Now then, what else besides the smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations.
Okay, and then, obviously, missing evidence with the gunshot could be heard.
The missing piece of evidence is a video that shows the moment in which Mr. Veil killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faverty's evidence bag for the recess, and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible that the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing evidence created for me is the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place.
Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again.
It's not a waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should look.
And where would that be?
I believe we should examine the television.
The TV? Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like.
Begin investigation. Okay. So let's go over to the TV.
A purpose until I've inspected every suspicious looking cranny. Okay, well, if we check here, that's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside.
It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end.
This tape could not be the missing surveillance tape.
I suppose, but
Detective Bad, would it be alright if you verify the contents of this video?
Sure, knock yourself out.
alright, let's rewind and see what we have.
If I remember correctly, the footage of Rail killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape.
Understood. This should be about right. Now then, let's see.
This is the footage of Mr. Rell shooting the embassy staff member.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along.
Okay. So,
the sound was the meaning of this.
It appears that Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. But this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder.
Do you mean you figured it all out then?
Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they heard it from.
Fine. In that case, show me what you've deduced.
I've deduced that, and through where they heard it from. Well, okay. Well, you heard it from the open window, and what you heard is the spokesman connected to any of the evidence at all. You heard it with this surveillance video. Boom! The door and the windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed. The killer could have used a gun and no one would have been the wiser.
That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was, Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot.
Well, the windows in lobby numbers 1 and 2 and the hallway were open, so naturally the people in those locations could hear it.
Ah, but then why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose.
Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this.
But why was it necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction.
Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of?
When the crime took place. It took place long beforehand.
The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes, and they used the gunshot in the surveillance video to do so.
So that's why the table's left running.
You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video?
Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was put on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period, and planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer.
Investigation complete.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Yes, what is it?
Miss Yu was asking for you.
Oh, convenient.
Since you doesn't know about the murderer.
Oh, did she now? Well, is she gonna show me the picture of a mirror, and then she's gonna show, and it's a funny joke because mirror reflects herself. And it's. Let's just move on.
It looks like
Miss Yu is still investigating something.
Understood. Please tell her that I will be right over.
I'll come along. I want to hear what he has to say.
Oh wait, that was Bad's voice.
It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth.
Okay, final confrontation time, baby. Let's do this. This game is so awesome. This is such a good game. Okay, that'll be this episode. So thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Ace Attorney Investigations and Miles Edgeworth. Goodbye.